All right, and we're back. And I'm JD. Boom, and I'm here with the, I'm gonna say world famous, right? World famous David Mitchell. And if you're from the state of Georgia, if you're from the city of Atlanta, this guy, his brother, his family is one of those families, right? You know, not only is he my Morehouse brother, he's my Atlanta brother, he's my Georgia brother, he's my big brother. Like, we just so many different things. But he's like family with me, man. And he gave a foreword to my book, my new book, The Boom Effect. And so I'm just glad to be able to sit down with him, get a testimonial from my brother, you know. And so the words in here, you purchase this book, you read it, is his words, okay? So without further ado, I'm gonna turn it over to David Mitchell, and I'm gonna let him just talk a little bit and share why he's here.
I'm just proud to be here, man. You know, again, if you are, first you have to start with this. If you're someone that needs great advice around building out a you your family financially, I call him the investment doctor. You need a doctor for your feet, you need a doctor for your heart, you need a doctor for your skin, you got a dentist for your teeth, you need a doctor for your wallet. And I think, he can be that type of doctor. I'm also a big Kramer fan, and one of the things he says on his show on CNBC is booyah.
That's right.
We're gonna change that to boom, because that's the new thing as we start to take more control over the conversations around our wealth, conversations around where we're going, conversations around how we build a future for our families. Again, the conversations around generational wealth and how the generational wealth is built many times doesn't start with the generation that starts it. That's right. That wealth starts with an idea. It starts with an intentionality to build something, right? And it's building something. Now it'll be our hope that he is going to be the wealth creator and the person that sees the ultimate wealth. But what he's doing is he's creating an avenue. He's creating a roadmap for that wealth. So his children and his children's children will look back on this video 100 years from now, and say, we are really rich because of the guy that's in this video. I'm about to show you my grandfather who was talking about this 100 years ago.
That's right.
And look at this old footage, and now this big house that we in, this land that we own, we're here having drinks and it's 2060. I'm gonna show y'all the guy that helped spark this off and get this going. And so if you're not thinking about it that way, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're doing a disservice to your family. You're doing a disservice to your children not yet born in your family. And so you got to have great partners and great stakeholders. I say you got to get the book because he takes you on a journey on building the wealth that you want for your family, building the legacy that you want for the conversations that you want to be had about you 100 years from now, about how you did it and how it was done, and just the intentionality about making sure that your family had, and the families yet unborn had what they needed.
Awesome, David. So I just have one question for you directly, man.
Exactly.
So 2020, man, 2020, just give a little snapshot to our viewers, our audience about 2020, how you did with your portfolio, your major hits, one or two that come to mind, but also how many times you missed not listening.
Let me tell you something. One of the things that requires you to build wealth, and again, we'll stay with the original thing, he's my financial doctor. When I don't listen to the doctor, I end up sick.
Okay.
And ain't nothing like, and we use these words, as y'all know, when I see a stock that he said, Dave, take a look at, and I said, I'm going to try another one instead of this one. The feeling when the one that he told me to try and I didn't choose it is that you feel sick.
Oh,
so,
right.
But the way we got started is that, again, I've been in the market, very heavily before the market crash in 2009. I had houses, I had a large stock portfolio, and like many people, I got scared out of the market. I lost a lot of what I owned in hard real estate during the downturn. I literally went from stock to the stock market, took everything out of it, unless it was in a 401k, and brought it into cash, and literally missed the entire stock run from the turnaround that we started to see in 2010, 2011 until 2020. I literally remember watching the market drop that morning. I had been there before because I come from banking, and I watched the market when Lehman Brothers fell go down to 7,000. It was the most amazing thing to watch being a finance person. But when I saw this recent drop in 2020, I felt in my heart and spirit that it was artificial. Like this was happening, that it was not due to the fundamentals. It was not due to some type of outlaying event like the housing crisis, where you had folks out here getting homes with the postage stamp and a credit and a credit card. But literally the fundamentals were still there, but it was really something that was happening, and quite honestly I thought was out of the control of the people that were there, and not due to anything that was going on with the underlying economy. So I picked up the phone and I said, "Gotta get in the market." He said, "We do." Now, he probably never thought of calling somebody up in the market and say, "Hey, we need to talk about investing," when the market had just gone down 7, 8, 9,000 points. But I think what he recognized is when I called him, he saw that I could see what he could see before we talked about it, and that was an opportunity.
Absolutely.
And I told him to put me a portfolio together. I had a fair amount of cash that had literally been sitting in a money market account, I'm ashamed to say, for close to 7 years. And it had gotten to almost a level of 6 figures. We opened up 2 different accounts, and when I tell you it was the best decision that I've ever made, calling him, getting engaged, open up the 2 different accounts, a long-term account and an account that kind of looked and feel like trading. And literally, I am up probably on most of the things that we settled on that were going to be our long-term plays and our short-term plays. I'm up 300-400% across the board. But I can tell you, the times I have not listened to him, I could be up 1,000%. And that's probably my fault, not his. I know enough to be dangerous, so a lot of times I debate more than I say, okay, that's what we don't do. And I go another route. But the holistic story that you need to know today is that when you're gonna take the opportunity to start building wealth, when you're gonna take the opportunity to start plotting a plan for your future, your retirement, you gotta have a financial doctor. Just like you have a doctor with anything else. And so it's been that financial doctor, and I can tell you right now, me and my wife owe him dinner. She told me to tell you that today.
Okay,
we owe
awesome.
you dinner because he has been a good financial doctor, and we've never been more financially healthy than we are today.
That's awesome. So before we leave,
Right.
we closing. Do you just want to give them what your #1 winner last year was?
My #1 winner last year was Neo.
Oh!
He put me on Neo at $9.
Yes, sir.
And Neo today is 45, and I went in hard with it and made a lot of money on that. And I've gotten rid of some, but I've held on some, and it's actually probably going to make it to my account that I'm doing my long-term holdings, because I've gotten to the point where I'm not going to trade it. I realized we kind of treated it as a trade because we thought it could pop and go back, but I think it's now going to be something that I got to say, okay, it's going to sound bad, I'm going to pay a little capital gains, but to liquidate it, put it in a place where I keep my stock that I don't look at, because I think that's one, because that was a winner. And when I say a winner, we're talking about close to 1,000%. I can tell you it's hard to say that sometimes if somebody gave you a stock pick that didn't get you 10%, 20%, 30%, 100%, but 1,000%, then you're talking to somebody who's getting good information, sharing it, and then allowing you to make good decisions about your financial future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, what Dave didn't tell you is NIO, he actually got it when it was $4. He traded it until it was a little bit over $9, and that's when he took it serious after he had made that initial money.
Right.
So he actually had a real run from $4 all the way up to 65. I want to say 65
at one point. Yep.
So, and that's just one example. We could go through a whole bunch of other ones. Like he really did well, and I'm very proud of the brother for all the stuff he did listen to.
Right.
And so that's why I enjoy his calls and our interaction more than anyone else. And like I said, it's like family now. So I'm glad he was able to come and sit down, just share with you. I appreciate you coming and doing this, brother. And so, we really support each other. and he has an incredible nonprofit here in Atlanta. Do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, we do work in the education space in an organization called Better Outcomes for Our Kids. We're an African American owned educational nonprofit, really focused unapologetically on African American families. And our kind of main story is, we're like the waiter. And you think about the waiter, they come out to your table and they tell you all the things that the restaurant offers. They go back, and what do? They come back and they take your order. And if you understand that relationship, that's what book is all about, is to make sure black families know everything on the menu. In most cases, this is going to be the only level of wealth that they'll give their kids, which is a really great K-12 education. So we're an organization set up to help them get there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So look, you can look up book, his email address?
No, it's www.bookatl.org. BookATL, BOOKATL.org. Look us up. We are a great organization, constantly looking for African Americans to join this conversation around education.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. It's a great organization. I'm a part of it, have been for several years, and so we welcome you all to join. So I just want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video, hear a little bit about the Boom Effect, hear the intro to it, the stuff, the years, the grind before there was even the thought of doing the book. I had to be with real people like this big guy right here.
Right.
So this is JD, Boom, with Pivot Point Investors, and I'm here with the Boom Effect, my new book, and we want you to go pick up a copy. Thank you.
Get a copy.